You're going,
Oh, I do. Oh, wow. Okay.
you like excite the acoustics and then you don't need to push anymore.
Oh, wow. This is great.
Hello, gorgeous. I'm the fairy voice mother, and today we are meeting Stitch.
How?
The other Stitch.
Hi guys, it's your boy Stitch.
Stitch is one of the most notorious beatboxers of his generation.
Feels like nothing.
Barely into his 20s, Stitch became a true pioneer of unprecedented mouth sounds, such as his 626 effect and his polyphonic voice. But he is also an incredibly exciting musician as well. He competes and performs his original music all over the world, fusing genres such as jazz, hip-hop, lo-fi and funk. And he is, in my opinion, one of the finest mouth unicorns ever to grace the magical land of beatboxing.
Oh, nice.
And today I have the pleasure of meeting Stitch for the third time.
So I can just do it normally like...
Gonna make a change for once in my life.
It's very bad now because I just hit puberty. But
Just now.
No, not just. My bad. But like...
My name is Lolli. I would describe myself as a highly nerdy but dedicated vocal coach. And today I intend for Stitch to become one of the thousands of vocalists whose voices I have had the honour and pleasure of unlocking to their full potential. And that's not all. If you stick around to the end, you will get to see Stitch teach me one of his most famous vocal tricks. So my gorgeous one, sit back and relax for a good 20 minutes of vocal nerdery and good times. I would love for you to learn with us today, so be sure to have a pen and paper. If you're 100 years old like me, you can just type notes, I guess. Prepare to take notes. And make sure you have a nice glass of water for obvious reasons, and let's do it.
When I was younger, before puberty, all that Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, I could easily sing any of that with a smile on my face. Then puberty hit and now I'm like super low, you know? So it would be nice if I could get that range back, or maybe if I could at least find out how I could increase my range, because sometimes I make pieces and I want to hit certain notes, but I can't. Another thing, this is going to be an interesting one. We all know that it's best to use your diaphragm when you sing. However, for beatboxers, we use our throat a lot. Whenever I'm beatboxing, there are singing sections, and I just use my throat to sing. It would be nice if I could learn how to improve my ability to switch between my throat for beatboxing and diaphragm for singing.
So breathing from the diaphragm is a very, very, very vague term, and it can actually be confusing as to what it even means. What we really want to do is make room for lung expansion and get your internal organs out the way in order to do so. The more kind of flexibility we can gain through our ribs and through our back, and the more we can actively disengage and re-engage the abdominals, then the easier your breathing's going to be. Let's find as much space as we possibly can in these areas. Usually we use a wall, but you can put your hand on your hip, and then you're going to reach over with your other arm and try and keep your body really, really straight. So you don't want to go like this. You want to stay in a straight line and just reach over like that. Good. And if it feels tight, then I want you to stay there. Make sure that your elbow is pointing directly to the ceiling. And
you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
in that tightness, you're going to breathe, and you're going to focus on that breath, expanding these little muscles in between your ribs. If you're feeling like you can take it a little bit further, you can then reach that other arm up, grab your wrist, and start to pull it a little bit more. If it feels too much though, don't do it. This is only beneficial when you're able to stay in the position comfortably with a little bit of that stretch sensation. And more importantly, you have to be able to breathe here. Now come up to the middle. Really, really good. We're going to go over to the other side. So start off with the hand on the hip. Good. Start your breathing. Inhale, expand the ribs on this side. Let it go. Good.
That actually feels good.
Yeah.
It actually feels genuinely good.
Let's see now if we can actively disengage the abs. Squeeze it in first, and then you're going to imagine that the belly button is just going to go diagonally down and you're going to let it go. We're associating this with breath, which is really cool. This is the practical use of it. But you can also practice these movements without any breath. You can just see what it's like to just continue your vocalizations and have this in and out movement of the belly. And it's a very good preliminary exercise if you want to pursue a belly dancing career.
I can see why.
Some people associate like the concept of diaphragmatic breathing as in breathe into the belly, but we don't have to actually drop it that low. We can expand here. While you're beatboxing, the tension is up here. And then when you want to sing, open the back. You can try it with like a clip of one of your routines, just slowly, and see if you can transition between the two if you like.
Oh, this is, for some reason, this is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so let's make something up. I need somebody to call me. I need somebody to call me. I need somebody to call me. I need somebody to. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, that actually feels weird. Okay. Usually, whenever I'm beatboxing and singing, because I'm so used to using this for everything, it feels very tight. But now that I'm like consciously telling myself to like open the back, it feels very light. Shout out to Justin Tan from Beatbox International. This will not be happening if I don't know who she is. This is so already seeing a little bit of improvement. That this feels good.
I'm so pleased. And yeah, big up to Justin. That was so clean. It sounded like you'd recorded it in separate takes. All you could hear was like beautiful sounds, which means that you've got a really good economic breath conversion. A lot of the time when we sing, even without the added element of beatboxing, we use too much breath than what's required.
Breathe quietly.
And that too much breath is what results in our vocal tone sounding like kind of pushed or cracky, and you had absolutely none of that. So that was really, really exciting.
I actually felt like I had more air to do more room. Usually like after like a line, I just feel like I ran out of air.
Wonderful. Well done. That was quick.
Great teacher.
Well, you're a fabulous student.
Thank you.
Welcome. And so let's move on to expanding your range, fueled by this new fabulous breath control that you have. Do you have the notes in mind that are difficult?
Baby, tell me what you need. This is like a comfortable range for me.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, tell me what you need. Now I'm like, it's a little squeezing around the throat. Baby, this is where the voice doesn't sound decent anymore. Baby. Now this is where I don't like how it really starts to sound.
Can you do that again for me, but turn to the side so I can have a look at your posture?
Okay.
Your instinct, I suppose, when you're finding that note is to bring your chin forward. That is making it so much harder for you because you're actually stopping your voice from moving. And when you want to sing higher notes, your vocal folds need to stretch, they need space. So if you imagine that your earlobes are attached kind of to your shoulders with a bit of elastic, so they can move, but they want to generally be in this place. Let's do some exercises so you can start to feel this. Okay, so rewiring this habit starts here because already here you're going.
Oh, I do. Oh, wow. Okay. Mental note.
Okay, so start by pulling backwards.
Does it help if I look up?
I want you to have your eye line like it's looking at the horizon. Because if it's up, that's also kind of strainy, but like sort of
Okay.
here. Yes.
Oh, I did the thing. I did the thing. Oh, wow. I'm starting. Oh, this is so weird. I'm noticing it now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did that look better?
Yes. The sound is very even. Like that's a good sign if the volume is very consistent while you're doing all of these slides. If it's that's like obviously you've hit it too hard at the beginning, but if it's then you're in control and your voice is happy. Now, the voice has had a bit of a warm up and it's been functioning in a nice light way, so you haven't slammed in straight away with a lot of volume and a lot of pressure. You're doing the word baby. And that's a difficult one to do because b is a plosive sound and there is a lot of residual breath that sort of explodes the lips in that b way. So we need to be conscious of how we're doing this b, and if we're like b, it's not going to go well. So we're going to sneak a little y in there as a drill. The shape is the most important thing with this. Don't try and make the voice sound pretty. I also want you to take your other hand and do this while you're singing.
Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly. I want you to make this as easy for yourself as you can. Get a little bit of twang in it so that sound like, oh my God. Oh my God.
This, is it just to keep my jaw back like a physical note in a sense?
The hand is making sure that your vowel comes out what I call square. So not here, wide, because that makes everything tight. You have to make sure that it's happening. Just relaxes the larynx down. It gives it enough space.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels like the air is coming out better. I don't know if this is the right word, but it doesn't feel like it's clogged.
If I just want to throw a ball really far, right, and I just fling it as much as I possibly can and use my entire body weight and like dislocate my shoulder, it's gonna go far. But there's probably a technique that if I like flick my wrist a certain way or whatever, it will travel because of science.
Turn down the thumb of your throwing hand and raise the arm behind you with the elbow above shoulder level.
And that's like what we're doing inside. We're just sciencing the out of this environment.
Beep, beep, beep.
This sounds great. You want to try the melody?
So when I say baby, do I add the beer?
Yeah, kind of. You're going to see if you can integrate it. Baby, tell me.
Okay, I can hear the ear now.
Baby, tell me, baby. Because when you pull back, you've just got so much control. It's easy.
Baby, tell me what you need inside.
Use your E. Baby.
Baby, tell me what you need inside.
Do this. Yeah, take it up. You got this. Stop thinking. Baby, tell me.
Baby, tell me what you need. Babe. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's perfect. I was just jamming out.
Do you usually do something similar for other vowels as well?
If you're doing like a no, you can't do no, I will never. It sounds weird, right? So instead, you it. No, I will never. As opposed to
Ah, okay.
I get it.
Baby, tell me what you... Is that
That's
better?
great. Yeah. Take it up.
Baby, tell me what you need.
You can just like in your practices start around there and then just keep taking it up without fear. If you feel like you can't remember the position, then put your hand on your face and just remember you can move any way you want as long as it's not here, right? So you can go this way and go this way, but just associate movements with that just to make sure you don't put like a kink in the hose. This is all good, like a bit of Stevie Wonder. It's good. It's the second you go like this, that's when we have a problem.
Baby, tell me. Ah, okay, I see it now. Okay.
Yes. You see how when you make that space, you like excite the acoustics and then you don't need to push anymore because it's already resonating.
Oh, wow, this is great. Because before this, I always feel this going up and like crushing itself, but now it's like...
You were crushing it by doing this. It wasn't crushing itself. It doesn't want to do that. But in our mind, we think, okay, the note is going to come out. Let's make sure we push it out. But like, don't. Your voice will do it by itself.
You can do the sound outward and inward, but it sounds a little different. If you practice really hard, and outward is like more chill and relaxed, so like... But an inward one, you can even hear it just from the sound of it. It sounds very... So there's this sound in the beatboxing community. We call it a pa. So it's spelled with like a P and an M in the middle, and it goes like this. The concept is the same as when people do this.
Don't flirt with him.
I'm not going to.
But now it's the same thing, but you want to like flatten both your top and bottom lid together. You know how the kiss is like in the middle? But
Yeah.
This one is like somewhere here. So like there's this pressure there, and when you open your mouth, it just kind of tinily like explodes there. So like...
But you're pulling air in?
Yes. So you pull air in and then you gotta open it as well. Yes, something like that.
Yeah?
Yes. And then you open your mouth.
Oh. Okay. I see it. You got to get it really tight.
So the reason why I'm teaching you this is because I couldn't do inward polyphonics before this. And one thing that really helps is that you do so once you get that down, you can add like a inward falsetto to it. So like a and then you can like kind of triggers an inward poly every now and then. If you do it more, you get a consistent. Then you can remove the and just do. So that's inward polyphonic. For outward polyphonics, there's two tips that I can think of, and one is a whisper. So like, so this gets a little tight. What you want to try is layer your falsetto on top of it, or you can do the other way around. So you can go like, just that. And then when you're ready, you add more air. And that's where the whisper comes into play.
It's like a stiffening thing, right?
Yes. Some people can't do the whisper, so they do something else. Have you had those moments where you're just like, oh my God? Your voice just kind of like sinks in, and then they layer the falsetto on top of that.
Like if I was dying and I needed to tell you like where I left all my cash or something.
One thing about the falsetto is that you would want to play around with the range, because there's usually a specific note for people where it cracks, because the polyphonic in a sense is actually a crack. The goal is to find that crack and then learn how to expand it and elongate it.
It does sound like the moral of the story is as narrow and stiff as you can get it while you're doing a falsetto should trigger the extra flapping to make that sound. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
I needed this more than you actually, so thank you. So you take care too, all right?
Thank you. Bye. Okay, let's get down to business. Dying. I'm dying.
Eventually.
Okay, for me, it's definitely not that high where I can find it. So maybe if you haven't found it yet with like the falsetto, bad. I can't get that supraglottic activation over the top. But as I come down, I can get it. It's just false folds in this case anyway. Maybe it's slightly different in falsetto, but here I just feel my false folds starting to come together really nicely. I'm really interested to see if I can get more chords as I go higher. Okay, I'll try once more and then I'll stop because I'm even annoying myself at this point. And then I think the really cool stuff happens when after you find that you let the engagement of your true vocal folds go. So you stop doing and it becomes like that breathiness. But I found that it feels really comfortable for me if I try it in that order. Pitch, then try and get it to happen over the top, and then see if I can let go of the fundamental pitch. That is incredibly fun. Thank you ever so much for joining me on today's vocal exploration adventure with the legendary Stitch. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. If there are any beatboxers that you can think of that would enjoy this experience, then please do tag them in this. Can you even do that on YouTube? I don't think you can.
Can't do it.
You can! You can do it!
If you enjoyed this video and you have more ideas about enjoyable videos, then let me know all your ideas in the comments. I'm really, really excited to try new different types of video because variety is the spice of life. And if that can be to your visual amusement, then that's obviously an ideal situation. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this, if you managed to get any of these sounds yourselves, and share your tips and tricks with your fellow fairy voice children. Huge hugs. Love you loads. Cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.